Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Today latest news. Let's begin today's discussion with a thought-provoking question that cuts to the heart of what we are all tracking. What if the significant financial transformation we have anticipated for so long is finally taking place, largely unnoticed by the wider world? The reason we pose this is because the current atmosphere surrounding the Iraqi dinar feels distinct from any previous period of speculation or rumor. The communication coming out of Baghdad appears to have adopted a more resolute and coordinated tone. Simultaneously, reports suggest that international financial systems are demonstrating unusual levels of activity, while sources across global regions hint at private preparations for a major economic shift. This is not the familiar, drawn-out narrative. Instead, the evidence points toward a complex, multi-phased economic activation that, according to various financial observers, has potentially entered a crucial 7-day window. This time frame has been discussed by analysts for months, but the synchronization of events currently unfolding lends a new level of credence to the reports. What we are witnessing appears to transcend routine domestic banking adjustments. All indicators suggest that Iraq is aligning its currency transition with a much broader global financial synchronization. To fully appreciate the magnitude of these developments, we must examine why this particular week is generating such widespread interest compared to countless previous updates. For years, the central objective of Iraq's monetary authorities has been the explicit goal of restoring the stability, international value, and overall presence of the Iraqi national currency. This long-term plan involved navigating formidable political obstacles, reforming the nation's banking sector, overcoming sanctions, managing regional geopolitical pressures, and implementing extensive technological upgrades, which collectively required far more time than initially projected. However, as we move into this new operational phase, the sense of momentum is palpable. The numerous, disparate elements of the monetary reform strategy now seem to be locking into place, strongly suggesting that the plan is shifting from the preparatory stages into active execution. Recent reports originating from the capital, Baghdad, indicate that a final schedule for activation is being adhered to. Furthermore, the critical upgrades to digital banking infrastructure are reportedly reaching completion, and international currency trading platforms are demonstrating synchronization patterns that are typically only associated with an impending major monetary event. This confluence of activity has led many in the financial community to believe that the Central Bank of Iraq has initiated a carefully controlled countdown phase. This countdown is ostensibly designed to meticulously check, verify, and calibrate every single financial mechanism connected to the Iraqi dinar before a new exchange value is officially presented to the global market. As each day of this reported 7-day window passes, an increasing amount of corroborating data is emerging to support this highly significant possibility. The truly compelling factor that sets this moment apart is the extraordinary level of synchronization observed, not just within Iraq's borders, but crucially, across the entire global network of banking institutions. In earlier periods of speculation, the supposed supporting evidence was often fragmented, inconsistent, or relied solely on unverified conjecture. The situation today is markedly different. Numerous foreign exchange departments in diverse global regions are reportedly making quiet, internal adjustments to their systems. Financial operatives working directly in currency transactions have noted temporary delays in processing, brief holds placed on certain orders, and unusual programming updates being deployed. These types of systematic internal shifts are widely recognized as standard operational procedure only when a system-wide currency rate modification is actively being prepared. Adding weight to this, Iraq's financial sector has successfully finalized multiple rounds of digital integration with key international platforms. These integrations are technologically vital, because they guarantee that once a new rate is established internally by Iraq's central bank, the global financial systems will possess the technical capability to receive and instantly reflect that rate within a matter of minutes. Furthermore, a number of large, influential banks located outside of Iraq have reportedly begun issuing internal advisories to their staff, instructing them to closely monitor for potential currency updates. Such high-level alerts are not issued lightly, as every system adjustment requires considerable investment of capital, time, and specialized technical coordination. The convergence of these activities points clearly toward a significant and coordinated financial event unfolding discreetly behind the scenes. The situation unfolding inside Iraq is equally persuasive in its signals of readiness. Local bank branches across the country have been reported to be restocking their automated teller machines atoms and recalibrating these machines to accommodate different, potentially new, denominations of physical currency. There are also significant efforts underway to prepare the Iraqi populace for a broader, more frequent usage of digital banking services. Public awareness campaigns have been actively promoting the adoption of mobile payments, digital wallets, and various forms of online transactions. This public engagement is considered an absolutely crucial precursor because a modernized, fully adjusted financial system must demonstrate robust stability before any major monetary adjustment can be safely implemented. The Central Bank of Iraq has been engaged in intensive high-level meetings with key financial institutions, meticulously reviewing compliance standards, finalizing required international certifications, and confirming that Iraq has achieved the necessary technical and regulatory capacity. Global financial connectivity. In their communications, senior Iraqi officials have increasingly utilized specific terminology, such as activation mode, final stage, and implementation phase, all of which strongly signal that their comprehensive long-term monetary plan is no longer a theoretical concept, but is now firmly in the execution pipeline. Observers within Baghdad have reported an increase in unusual traffic volume at major banking centers, heightened security protocols, and private, focused meetings that are consistently linked to significant financial restructuring activities. These combined movements powerfully suggest that Iraq is not preparing for minor, incremental adjustments, but rather for a major, systemic shift that represents the culmination of many years of extensive economic planning. When the internal preparedness activities within Iraq are viewed in conjunction with the documented global synchronization efforts, the overarching picture clarifies considerably. Iraq appears to be in the final stretch of a deliberately timed, meticulously controlled financial rollout. Let us now examine the highly discussed concept of the 7-day window that numerous analysts have been referencing. This term is not based on arbitrary or mystical timing. Rather, it is widely believed to represent a structured sequence that sophisticated financial institutions often utilize when finalizing complex national monetary transitions. During the initial couple of days within this reported window, the primary focus is typically on intensive system testing. The goal is to ensure that both domestic banking platforms and international financial systems can flawlessly communicate with one another. This testing includes confirming the accuracy of rate projections, verifying the stability of cross-border payment channels, and ensuring that international trading networks are technically capable of instantaneously reflecting the new currency value immediately upon activation. Days 3 and 4 of the sequence are customarily dedicated to internal notifications and technical communications. This involves sending confidential memos to major commercial banks, key currency exchange offices, and specific financial departments that require early technical awareness of the pending changes. It is important to note that these technical notifications are never disseminated to the general public at this preliminary stage, as their function is purely technical and operational, not for public announcement. Approaching Day 5, it is sometimes reported that internal transactions within Iraq may quietly begin to shift toward the new, anticipated rate before the rest of the world is informed. This is not an unusual practice and is often employed by nations to ensure that critical operations, such as government payroll disbursement, contracts, and large-scale oil transactions, can transition smoothly and securely under the updated currency value. The final 2 days of the window are generally reserved for global system synchronization, the critical period when international systems fully prepare for the public, worldwide release of the new official rate. A particularly unique aspect of the current period is the simultaneous preparation being observed across multiple, seemingly unrelated economic sectors. Commodity traders are reportedly monitoring unusual activity involving dinar-linked contracts. Furthermore, international partners actively engaged with Iraq on major oil and reconstruction projects are said to be receiving urgent updates concerning revised payment schedules and electronic settlement systems. Crucially, various Iraqi government ministries have been observed coordinating closely with financial authorities to ensure that their vital infrastructure programs, employee payroll systems, and public service budgets are fully aligned with a potential monetary adjustment. Such extensive and widespread preparation, spanning highly diverse sectors, is an extremely rare occurrence unless a nation is truly gearing up for a fundamental and massive economic shift. Even among the general populace inside Iraq, there have been increasing reports of small indicators of upcoming change, such as highly visible promotions for updated digital payment systems, the recalibration of financial machines, and expanded operational hours at some banking facilities. These observations collectively suggest that Iraq is proactively working to ensure its citizens are financially stable and technologically prepared before any new currency value is officially unveiled. When all of these factors are meticulously assembled, it becomes undeniable that Iraq is operating with clear and purposeful intention. The nation is methodically moving forward, step by step, ensuring that its economy is ready not only for a significant currency adjustment, but also for the long-term goal of stability and full international integration. One of the most frequently asked questions is why this moment feels profoundly different compared to the countless rumors that have circulated over the years. The most compelling answer lies in the level of global, structured participation this time around. Iraq is not implementing these reforms in isolation. Their extensive financial adjustments have received robust support from international economic organizations, key regional partners, and influential global institutions that share a vested interest in the long-term stabilization of Iraq's economy. Iraq's vital oil sector is currently operating at high, consistent production levels. Major contracts with numerous foreign companies are active and progressing, and, significantly, the national budget restructuring has finally achieved a more balanced and sustainable state after years of severe difficulty. These solid economic foundations make a transition to a stronger national currency not merely a speculative possibility, but an increasingly practical and achievable policy goal. Furthermore, the global banking network in 2025 is far more interconnected and digitally advanced than ever before. Modern digital verification systems, sophisticated cross-border compliance tools, and high-speed international settlement platforms are now capable of handling rapid, systemic transitions with minimal need for manual intervention. This technological capability means that if Iraq decides to activate a new rate internally, the global financial system can synchronize quickly, accurately, and with minimal friction. When viewed through this technical and economic lens, the current flurry of activity is not random. Rather, it appears to be the logical and deliberate result of carefully orchestrated coordination among multiple parties who fully grasp the magnitude and complexity of the moment. In addition to the visible global readiness, Iraq has independently taken enormous, proactive strides to modernize its entire financial infrastructure. Over the past year, the central bank has implemented stringent anti-money laundering AML protocols, dramatically enhanced its cybersecurity measures, and significantly strengthened partnerships with international regulatory bodies. They have also meticulously upgraded their internal data protection systems and verified full compliance with modern global financial standards. These actions are mandatory prerequisites for any national currency that intends to operate smoothly and successfully on the world financial stage. The country has also championed and launched numerous new digital banking initiatives, specifically designed to help Iraqi citizens successfully transition into a future where reliance on cash is either reduced or eliminated. Mobile payment services have become increasingly common, and various essential government services are rapidly shifting toward electronic processing systems. This shift is fundamentally crucial because a revaluation process is about far more than simply increasing the numerical value of a currency. It involves completely aligning the entire domestic economy with modern international standards. Iraq's leadership has consistently emphasized that their overarching goal is long-term economic stability. They are focused on ensuring that the dinar accurately reflects the country's true underlying wealth, effectively supports international trade activities, and strongly encourages foreign direct investment. With these foundational reforms already fully implemented, the timing of the reported 7-day activation window aligns perfectly with their stated strategic plan. Another noteworthy observation stems from the behavior of various countries and international organizations that maintain close working relationships with Iraq. Regional allies have been observed strengthening existing trade agreements, finalizing significant investment deals, and actively supporting Iraq's complex economic transition. Iraq's deepening connections with emerging global economic alliances have also created additional financial pathways that are inherently supportive of currency reform efforts. This broader international network signifies that once Iraq adjusts the value of its currency, it will have a multitude of partners readily prepared to engage in trade and collaborate under the new financial structure. Many financial experts believe Iraq is strategically positioning itself to become a central, pivotal economic player within the Middle East, leveraging both its massive oil reserves and its newly acquired, sophisticated digital financial tools to gain significant regional and international influence. Should the dinar achieve an internationally traded status at a stronger value, it would undoubtedly open new and substantial doors for foreign investment and regional partnerships that were previously limited. These partnerships are also expected to assist Iraq in achieving faster stabilization after the transition, thereby fostering a more balanced and secure financial environment for both its citizens and its businesses. This robust combination of domestic preparation and powerful international cooperation reinforces the conviction that Iraq's monetary reform is definitively entering its ultimate phase of implementation. Now, let's address the potential impact this reported activation window may have on global financial systems. A currency revaluation of this potential scale inevitably generates significant ripples across multiple international markets. Major commercial banks are required to prepare their foreign exchange departments, urgently update critical rate servers, verify full compliance with new protocols, and ensure that all customer-facing platforms can accurately display the new values the instant the change occurs. Any delays or errors could severely disrupt trading activity and customer transactions, which is precisely why banks engage in extensive preparation well ahead of any anticipated major global currency event. In the last few days, several large institutions have reportedly conducted quiet internal system tests that are entirely consistent with documented revaluation preparation procedures. These are not public announcements, but rather technical adjustments executed by specialized departments responsible for maintaining currency accuracy across all systems. Market analysts have also observed that certain international trading screens are showing isolated signs of temporary freezes or unexplained adjustments, which is a phenomenon that commonly precedes major currency updates. While this evidence does not independently confirm the event, it strongly contributes to the overall pattern of worldwide readiness that is currently being observed. When global banking systems begin to exhibit synchronized shifts at the exact time Iraq is reportedly implementing major internal financial adjustments, it strongly suggests a highly coordinated process is actively underway. Inside Iraq, the government is equally focused on ensuring that the public experiences an exceptionally smooth financial transition. Public service departments have been modernizing payment systems, updating platforms for salary distribution, and adjusting various government contracts to align with the potential upcoming monetary changes. Officials have also proactively encouraged citizens to open digital bank accounts, utilize electronic bill payment systems, and engage with modern mobile finance tools. Extensive public education campaigns have been strategically rolled out through various media channels to help people fully understand the benefits of digital banking and to prepare for a more interconnected financial system. These steps are designed to minimize the risk of confusion or economic instability when the new currency rate is finally introduced. The government's clear objective is for its citizens to be comfortable and proficient in using banks and electronic services, especially as Iraq rapidly moves toward a modernized, highly transparent, digital economy. The cultural shift from a predominantly cash-based system to one that relies on secure digital transactions is a fundamental component of the nation's long-term stability strategy. By preparing the public well in advance, Iraq is actively creating an environment where a revaluation can occur smoothly and without unnecessary disruption to daily life. One of the most compelling aspects of this current moment is the undeniable alignment of Iraq's core financial indicators. Foreign currency reserves are reported as strong and healthy. The national inflation rate is under firm control. Oil revenues are consistent and robust, and international trade activities have expanded significantly. These indicators are absolutely essential for any country that plans to successfully adjust the value of its currency and, most importantly, maintain that stability afterward. Iraq has successfully overcome numerous severe economic challenges over the years. However, the recent growth has established a solid financial foundation that is structurally capable of supporting a stronger national dinar. International analysts have consistently commented on Iraq's steady and deliberate progress, noting that the country has effectively transitioned from reactive financial policies to proactive, long-term development strategies. The national economy is no longer simply struggling to survive. It is strategically preparing itself to compete on the global stage. With massive infrastructure projects underway, energy exports steadily rising, and foreign investment continuing to increase, Iraq is consciously building the confidence required to support its long-awaited monetary reform. These profound changes do not manifest suddenly, which is why the current 7-day window feels like the logical culmination of years of careful, methodical planning rather than an impulsive, snap decision. A critical component of the reported activation window is the internal testing phase, during which Iraq's central bank conducts extensive, private checks to ensure that every domestic system is fully prepared for the updated rate. This includes everything from government payroll systems and oil contract settlements to import documentation and public service budgets. If these vital systems are unable to function flawlessly under the new rate, the entire transition could result in widespread confusion and instability. This is the primary reason why Iraq conducts exhaustive internal testing before any information is made public. In the last few days, multiple, subtle indicators strongly suggest that significant internal activity is occurring behind the scenes. Certain key government offices have reported experiencing temporary system downtime due to major updates. Some local banks have been observed preparing their branches for potentially higher transaction activity, and public facing financial platforms have occasionally displayed brief maintenance messages, which often precede a major financial update. These signs, while individually subtle, fit perfectly into the established pattern of internal readiness testing. They also align precisely with what analysts expect to see during the middle stages of a highly controlled monetary activation window. If these internal systems confirm accuracy, the next logical step would be full alignment with global markets. This is precisely where the final 2 days of the activation window become absolutely critical. As the activation window progresses, financial observers anticipate an increased visible alignment between Iraq's domestic systems and the complex international Forex environment. This thorough synchronization is non-negotiable because, once the new rate becomes globally visible, every single bank, trading platform, and currency exchange center must display the exact same value at the exact same moment. This strict requirement significantly reduces the potential for market manipulation, eliminates misinformation, and prevents inconsistent pricing. Global synchronization typically involves the mass refreshing of rate servers, the temporary locking of digital channels for system updates, and major institutions preparing emergency support teams in case of unexpected traffic surges. Several major banks worldwide have already adjusted their internal systems in ways that are fully consistent with standard Forex synchronization procedures. These proactive actions strongly suggest that they are technically preparing to receive a new currency rate from a major sovereign entity. The precise timing of these global adjustments, combined with the detailed internal preparations within Iraq, reinforces the conviction that numerous financial institutions are actively aligning themselves for a coordinated, global event. While no public confirmation can be made until the final moment, the sheer technical groundwork being laid globally suggests that the international financial system is fully ready to receive whatever new value Iraq is preparing to release. On a macro, global scale, Iraq's potential currency shift could play a significant and influential role in a much broader financial restructuring currently underway worldwide. Throughout 2024 and extending into 2025, many nations have been actively reassessing their currency positions, gold reserves, and various digital asset strategies. The world is clearly transitioning toward a more transparent, asset-backed, and technologically advanced financial environment. Iraq, with its immense oil wealth, continuously growing infrastructure, and rapidly modernized banking system, is strategically positioning itself as a key and willing participant in this major global transformation. Some financial experts believe that Iraq's currency adjustment could represent one of the initial, significant steps in a much larger global reset of currency valuations. This does not imply that every country will revalue its currency, but it does mean that nations possessing strong natural resources and fully updated banking systems may become far more influential in the new global market dynamics. If Iraq proceeds to activate its new rate within the reported 7-day window, it could powerfully mark the beginning of a new financial era in the Middle East, one where currency values are more reflective of real national assets and trade agreements are more equitable and balanced. This outcome would not only provide immense benefits for Iraq itself, but would also significantly strengthen economic relationships throughout the entire region. While a degree of speculation will always naturally surround large-scale economic events, what gives the current moment its increased credibility is the extraordinary level of structure and coordination that is actively taking place. Iraq is clearly not acting impulsively, and the global banking community is not merely reacting to unverified rumors. The movements we are now observing are methodical, deliberate, and entirely aligned with established international financial protocols. That high level of structure is precisely what gives the current moment its true significance. Even if there are minor pauses or small technical adjustments required along the way, the underlying direction remains explicitly clear. Iraq is purposefully moving forward with its long, anticipated monetary reform process. Over the years, many observers may have become discouraged due to numerous delays and the spread of misinformation. However, this time, the corroborating evidence is not based on scattered, unverified reports. It is based on visible, technical actions. Banks are systematically updating their systems. Iraq is comprehensively modernizing its infrastructure. Global institutions are aligning their platforms. This is what genuine, large-scale financial change looks like. It is initially quiet, highly technical, and deeply structured, rather than loud or immediately dramatic. When all of these structured stages align, the outcome becomes increasingly inevitable. For anyone tracking the dinar, the most critical element right now is awareness, not panic. When major financial changes occur, the spread of misinformation accelerates rapidly. Unscrupulous individuals often claim to possess insider access, secret rates, or private deals that are unequivocally not real. The safest and wisest course of action is to maintain absolute composure and rely only on official updates issued by licensed banks, reputable currency exchange centers, and most importantly, the Central Bank of Iraq itself. When the new rate is officially made public, it will not be hidden or offered selectively to one group before another. It will appear simultaneously and verifiably on global banking screens, major Forex platforms, and official government channels. Until that definitive moment arrives, patience is absolutely essential. The complex process currently unfolding involves both intricate domestic and highly interconnected global systems. Attempting to rush it or relying on unverified claims can only lead to confusion and potential loss. The superior strategy is to remain consistently informed, stay grounded in verifiable facts, and allow the structured process to complete its necessary course. When the decisive moment does arrive, it will be clear, easily verifiable, and accessible to everyone. For the people of Iraq, this comprehensive transition represents something far greater than a potential increase in currency value. It symbolizes the dawn of a new era of economic strength, renewed national pride, and increased global relevance. Iraq has demonstrated remarkable resilience through decades of instability, conflict, and severe financial challenges. Through sheer determination, sweeping reforms, and international cooperation, the nation is actively stepping into a more stable and prosperous future. A stronger national currency has the potential to significantly improve the purchasing power of its citizens, provide massive support for local businesses, and substantially expand international trade opportunities. Teachers, doctors, government workers, and everyday families across Iraq stand to experience meaningful economic relief and a substantial improvement in their quality of life. Local merchants could gain easier access to international goods, banks could confidently support larger developmental projects, and foreign investors could enter Iraq with greater confidence. This is the core reason why the government has focused heavily on educating its citizens about digital banking. They want the ordinary person to fully benefit from the financial transition. Economic reform is never just about abstract numbers. At its heart, it is about improving the quality of life for its citizens. Should Iraq successfully complete this historic transformation, it could serve as a powerful model for how other nations rebuild and achieve stability through comprehensive financial modernization and productive international cooperation. As we approach what many observers believe to be the final days of the activation window, analysts are keenly watching for very specific, final signs. These final indicators include updated official statements from the central bank, new internal instructions distributed to local bank branches, definitive changes in transaction processing times, or formal announcements from government ministries regarding final economic adjustments. In the international market, temporary freezes on currency feeds or early, controlled rate projections could also signal the upcoming final synchronization. However, it is fundamentally important to remember that the only official confirmation will occur when Iraq is fully and completely ready. No rumor, prediction, or online claim has the capacity to accelerate this complex, carefully managed process. Even if the final public activation takes slightly longer than currently anticipated, the overall direction remains unequivocally the same. Iraq has meticulously positioned itself for a major financial transition. The core infrastructure is securely in place, the vital systems have been thoroughly updated, and international financial networks appear fully aligned. Whether the final public reveal occurs within this specific week, next week, or shortly thereafter, the sense of imminent change feels stronger now than at any point in the past. And unlike previous years, the technical and economic evidence now overwhelmingly supports forward momentum rather than mere speculation. Looking ahead, the global community is actively preparing for a future where Iraq emerges as a far stronger and more influential financial player. Large multinational corporations are already deeply exploring massive opportunities in construction, energy, and sophisticated digital infrastructure projects within Iraq. Regional partners are simultaneously strengthening crucial trade routes that connect Iraq with key neighboring markets, and international institutions continue to provide unwavering support for Iraq's sweeping economic reforms. These combined developments are rapidly creating a stable, supportive environment that can successfully sustain a higher currency valuation. When any country demonstrably strengthens its fundamental financial foundation, global partners universally take notice. In Iraq's case, the timing for this move could not be more strategically advantageous. As digital banking rapidly becomes the accepted global standard, Iraq is strategically entering the modernization process with considerable momentum and strong economic backing. With robust oil revenues underpinning the economy, a modern and secure banking system supporting transactions, and key international partners providing guidance and investment, Iraq is consciously stepping into a position of emerging economic leadership within the region. A successful revaluation could serve as the crucial spark that dramatically accelerates all of these existing developments, leading to sustained, long-term growth and broader regional prosperity. So, what should all our viewers expect to see in the coming days? A calm but steady progression of highly technical adjustments, internal operational announcements, and the final stages of global system synchronization. If Iraq continues to adhere to its structured activation sequence, we could see an undeniable increase in momentum as this window approaches its final days. However, it remains absolutely critical to remain grounded and patient. Major financial transitions demand precision, and they often require additional verification periods. If any single part of the complex system requires extra time, Iraq will responsibly delay the public release until every technical requirement is fully satisfied. This should not be interpreted as a setback. It is the essence of responsible financial planning. The very fact that coordination is happening at a global level means that accuracy is far more important than speed. When the new rate finally becomes visible, it will be a singular, coordinated release across multiple, officially sanctioned financial platforms. Until that definitive moment arrives, the powerful signs we are currently observing serve as undeniable indicators of readiness, not confirmation. Viewers must remain informed, stay patient, and trust the structured process that is unfolding discreetly behind the scenes. As we conclude today's extended report, the central message remains simple and clear. This moment truly feels different. Not because of baseless hype or vague rumors, but because of actual, verifiable, coordinated activity unfolding right before our eyes. Iraq has invested years into diligently building the financial foundation for this highly significant transition, and now the reported 7-day activation window appears to be firmly in motion. The combination of digital banking upgrades, sophisticated global system synchronization, key internal government adjustments, and level international cooperation all distinctly point toward the same logical conclusion. Iraq is entering the final, decisive phase of its long-awaited monetary reform. Whether the public announcement arrives precisely at the end of this window or shortly thereafter, the ultimate direction is unmistakable. Iraq is ready to step confidently into a new financial era, and the world's banking systems are actively preparing to receive it. For now, the most responsible action for all our viewers is to remain informed, stay steady, and follow official updates as they are released. The next few days could indeed be significant, and as always, we will be here, covering every development in detail. Stay hopeful, stay wise, and stay connected.